afternoon, heading back to the lakes to do the last 4 Wainwrights in the quest. So I've decided to take the van up and do it over 2 days. I'm heading to Crummock Water just now, and I'm going to climb Fellbarrow and Low Fell, and then I'm going to sleep in the van and then move it to the south side of Buttermere, and then climb Fleetwith Pike and Haystacks tomorrow. Haystacks will be the 214th and final Wainwright. So I've had this Thursday, Friday penciled in for a while now, and I've been watching the weather forecast all week, and it's been getting hotter and hotter, and in fact today is forecast to be the hottest day in the UK. Thankfully that's mainly down south of the Midlands. It's still going to be warm up here, but not quite as warm as that. But nevertheless, I've left it until late afternoon before heading off, and it'll be around about 2-3 o'clock by the time I arrive at Crummock Water, and I'll probably leave it a bit later than that to set off. And then tomorrow is forecast to be cooler again, which is a blessing, because that steep ascent up Fleetwith Pike is going to be a bit of a killer, I think. So yeah, beautiful blue sky, looks good, so there should be some nice views. Just hope it's not too sticky and uncomfortable. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I'm on the M6 now, got about another hour to go I reckon before I arrive, so I shall catch up with you when I get there. Okay, so just on the little road by Thackswaite, parked the van, got about a mile of road walking to do, and then straight up Fellbarrow. Look at the views around here though. So right down at the very end of, you can't see Buttermere, but that's Crummock Water there, right down at the very end is Fleetwith Pike and Haystacks, where I'm going to be climbing tomorrow, the last 2. But round here we've got Whiteside, we've got Grassmoor, absolutely majestic fell, and Melbrake as well. Superb. Yeah, it's a really lovely area of the Lake District is this, the Buttermere Crummock Water Valley. There you go, look at that there. Absolutely stunning. Right, let's carry on along this road and then find the footpath that strikes left up onto these fells here. That's Low Fell, just hiding behind the trees there, and Fellbarrow, which is this fell here. And then once I'm up there, it's a case of walking along the ridge to Low Fell, which is there, and then back down the path. Hello you two. Hello. Oop. Okay, so this is Thackswaite, and there should be a little path on the left here, and I think this might be it. So there you go, public footpath, Low Fell. That's the one, so guess we're up here. back in the day this must have been a little lane, this linking Thackthwaite tongue twister up to the fell, I guess. You can see the remnants of it down there, but it's lined with oak trees, obviously planted, and these look to be a couple of 100 years old, I would say, going all the way up. I usually do my research before I come on these walks, but I haven't today, so I'll have to have a look when I get back. But yeah, almost certainly some sort of lane, but, or avenue even, with these trees lining it. But lovely. Well, I've pretty much come to the end of the lane, and I mean, I can only imagine that there must have been a building up here. Years ago. There doesn't seem to be any trace of left now. Because I'm just trying to think why somebody would build and then tree line a lane all the way up to just the fell side. If you know, let me know. Just stop for a quick look back at the views before I come round the corner and lose them. So Crummock Water's come into view down there, and then we've got Melbrake on the right, pointy one, Red Pike, and then High Stile, and I think that must be High Crag on its shoulder. Then the flat top one in the far distance is Great Gable. Haystacks just sat in front of it in the foreground. That's my last fell tomorrow. Ranadale Knots in the foreground there. Grassmoor looking majestic. Whiteside. And then I think that must be Greystones there, and then these are all the Witherp Fells. And then that must be Skiddaw in the far background over there. Yeah, what a view, eh? Right, so Fellbarrow, I think, must be this one. Grassy mound, straight ahead. Almost on the summit of Fellbarrow, but just paused to have a look over there. That little crag there, and that fell is called Hatteringgill Head, and I just wonder what that black shape was on the top of the fell. And it's a cow. So not only have we got sheep everywhere in the Lake District, we've got cows on top of fells now. I'll try and zoom in so you can see properly. There's another one just down there by the wall. Fell cows. Well, who'd have thought? Okay, this is Fellbarrow. Nice old trig point. So we've got our views over the Solway Firth to southern Scotland, Irish Sea, and then I'll give you a quick panorama. But if you do want to see a fully labelled panorama from this fell and all the other fells I climbed today, then I'll put links up here or in the description. But I'll give you a quick panorama. So Blake Fell there. Going around to Pillar on the horizon there, Red Pike and High Style Ridge there. Great Gable in the distance over there. Grassmoor, Whiteside. Skiddaw in the distance over there. Greystones and Ling Fell. And Binsey over there. So yeah, not bad, but I think Low Fell is going to be better because you've got all the views down Crummock Water. Okay, made it to Low Fell. Yes, and the views are quite stunning. Absolutely brilliant. Let me show you around. It's actually raining, a little bit of rain. Right, so Irish Sea, Burnbank Fell, over the other side of Loweswater, which is in that little valley there. Blake Fell, Gavel Fell, Great Bourne, Hen Combe in the foreground, Starling Dodd over there. Melbrake, majestic fell, fantastic views from there. Where are we? In the, and we've got Red Pike, the sort of sharp one. High Style, High Crag. Highest fell in the distance over there is Great Gable, and just sat underneath it is Haystacks, which will be my last fell tomorrow. Foreground down here, Ranadale Knots. Back up there to, you can't, Fleetwith Pike is there, but you can't, it's quite, it is a sharp fell, but you just can't, it's not a good angle to see it from this, but it is there. And then we've got Whiteless Pike, Grassmoor, Whiteside, oh, Grisdale Pike just peeking up, which I was there last week, a little triangular shaped one. Then Ladyside Pike just on the left of it, Skiddaw, highest fell in the distance over there, and Lower Man, excuse me, and then Greystones here, and then back round again, back to Fellbarrow over there. Wow, yeah, really good view. I had originally planned to wild camp here because I knew it was a grassy top, and there's plenty of spots that would be ideal actually, because it's supposed to be a stunning sunset and sunrise aspect looking down the length of Crummock Water. But with it being the hottest day of the year, allegedly, I thought I didn't really fancy taking a heavy rucksack with all the overnight stuff up here with me, so I went for the camper van option instead. But as it turned out, it's actually a bit chilly. It's raining a little bit and it's windy. I'm about to put my wind cheater on, so I probably could have done it after all. Although having said that, it might have been difficult to get a decent pitching spot out of the wind. But anyway, one last look and then I'm going to head down to the van. Just wandered over to a neighbouring fell called Beeld. I was going to head straight back to the van from Low Fell, but I had a sneaky suspicion that if I just wandered over here I might get a nice view of Loweswater, and I wasn't wrong. Let me take you down here for a quick look. How about that? Lows water, just catching the evening light. Beautiful. So that was worth a little diversion, wasn't it? It's not a Wainwright, this. It'll be a Dewey or a Nuttall or a Burkitt or one of those. But anyway, right, I'm going to head back towards Low Fell and then just take a path down back to where the van's parked. Cuckoo. Always hear them this time of year. Never see them. Very elusive birds. Okay, made it back. That was a really steep descent, that, off Low Fell. Past somebody going up and they looked like they were struggling. Right, so plan now is to move the van to somewhere quiet, off the beaten track and discreet, and then get settled down for the night. Okay, found somewhere quiet and discreet. So it's 8 o'clock now. Time to get some tea on. Wayfarer chili con carne and rice. Expiry date December 2017. Should be alright. Right, so I've had something to eat and drink. Just looking at the map now, really, to peruse the route tomorrow. So I'm going to take the van to Gate Scarth. There's a car park there by the look of it, far south end of Buttermere. And then there's a path that goes straight up Fleetwith Pike, right up the nose of it, and it looks perilously steep. But it also looks very interesting with lots of rocky features there. And then from the top of Fleetwith Pike, there isn't a clear path that takes you round towards Haystacks, so I guess we'll just have to see what the lie of the land is like and then see if I can make my way over there. Once you get close to Haystacks, there's a good path that you can pick up, and then there's a good path all the way back down to the south end of Buttermere and back to the car park again. I have actually been on top of Fleetwith Pike before. A couple of years ago, me and a friend and our kids did the Via Ferrata experience, the rock climbing experience at Honister, and it was really good actually. But we parked right at the top on the pass, and then walked up to where the rock climbing area was, and then afterwards the guide took us up. I'm not sure if it was the summit or it was somewhere near the summit, but he took us up there just for the view down the full length of Buttermere, and it was majestic. But I don't count that, because you know, if you climb it from the top of Honister Pass, it's cheating, isn't it? You know, you're almost 1,000 feet up there. So I'm going to do it again tomorrow properly from lake level and climb the full height of it. And then, like I said, back around to Haystacks. Haystacks was always the mountain that I wanted to finish on, probably because it was one of Wainwright's favourites and because his ashes are scattered up there. I've circled it from all the neighbouring fells and looked down on it, but I've never actually climbed it. Wainwright described it as being like a shaggy terrier in the company of foxhounds. But the summit apparently is absolutely majestic, so I'm really looking forward to that. It should be fantastic. Right, I am going to watch a film, or a movie if you're watching from America, and then that should take me to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then it's a case of bedding down for the night, getting a bit of sleep. Now I want to be up fairly early tomorrow, so I miss the heat of the day essentially. Good morning. Okay, well, uneventful night. Today looks a bit overcasty, not quite as warm as yesterday, thank goodness, but you can still see all the fells. I've had a peek out the window. Right, so the plan is to get the van packed up, drive to the far southern end of Buttermere to Gatesgarth. There's a car park there. Get parked up and then get up onto Fleetwith Pike, and yeah, that should be a physical challenge if nothing else. I've just stopped for a minute just to show you. Got a great aspect of Fleetwith Pike here, which is just there, poking out from behind the corner. See how steep it looks? And then that's Haystacks there, the shaggy one. And then look at Buttermere, absolutely majestic. Yeah, so I better go before a car comes behind me, and heading off up Fleetwith Pike. In fact, this is an even better aspect here of Fleetwith Pike. Look at that. There we go. And Haystacks just there. Okay, parked up, ready to go. So, this is Fleetwith Pike ahead. Looks pretty steep. And this is Haystacks over there, which looks pretty craggy. Right, let's find this path and then prepare for some hard work. Lovely views of Buttermere opening up as I gain height. Right the way down to Melbrake at the bottom end. Red Pike, High Style, High Crag. Haystacks is just hiding behind there. Lovely. Steep path, but a really good path. This is like a proper Lake District fell path should be. Unobtrusive, can't see it from the road. And just really well made and good. Not like that one on sale from last week. Right then, we've got full length of Buttermere. Crummock Water now just coming into view as well. Lovely. And got a first decent view of Haystacks as well, just over here. So that is Haystacks. So path continues on up Fleetwith Pike, and then somehow we've got to find our way over to here, and then the path comes back down here again, back to where the van's parked, just down there in Gatesgarth. Okay, I'd like to think I'm halfway up, but realistically it's probably more like a third. Still looks very steep. Views keep getting better. Just over halfway up now, just had a look at the map. I'm on Fleetwith Edge, which is like an arete of sorts, and it's basically the nose of Fleetwith Pike as you're looking at it from the north. So that's this trek up here. That's not the summit, that's a false summit there, I think. I'll see the summit when I get up to that point. But we're getting there. Great Gables come into view now, and Kirk Fell and Pillar, and Haystacks here. You can see it in all its majesty now. And then we've got the High Crag, High Style, Red Pike Ridge. Lovely. Right, let's crack on. Tell you what, it's a bit hairy that. Bit of hands and feet scrambling. Almost there, I think. I think I've pretty much got the altitude. I think this is a false summit just here, but then I think the true summit is a reasonable meander from that point. I'm gonna get my breath back first though. Hard work that. Made it. 213 Fleetwith Pike. Oh, hard work. Right, let me give you a quick tour around. Buttermere, Crummock Water, Grassmore, Robinson, Hinescarth, Dalehead, Glaramara, Great Gable, Scarfell, Kirkfell, Haystacks in the foreground, Pillar behind, High Crag, High Style, Red Pike, Melbrake. Beautiful. Right, now it's a case of picking the path over to Haystacks now. I couldn't find a path on the one in 25,000 paper map I had last night in the van, but when I've looked on the digital map on my phone this morning, there is a tiny little black speck of a path that links them together, so I'm going to be following that. Right, time for 5 minutes break, enjoy the views, and then crack on to 214 Haystacks. Yeah, in fact you can see the path snaking down here, around the other side, and then up onto Haystacks there. Well, I struck the main path, and it is a path and a half, isn't it? It's more like a Land Rover track. Because this area around Honister, around here, was a busy working slate mine, wasn't it? And I think in some capacity it still is, which would explain these paths. And then every now and then you come across a pile of slate, or, oh, and in this case a building. Look at that. Go and have a look at that, it's worthy of exploration. But yeah, plenty of slate everywhere. There's Haystacks over there, so you can see the path that meanders up onto the summit. It does look very gnarly and craggy, doesn't it? Looks great. Understand why it was one of Wainwright's favourites, because it's just so ideally positioned amongst so many high majestic fells all around. Right, let's go and see what's going on down here then. Oh, it's a bothy. Dub's Hut. Anybody home? I didn't know there was a bothy here, and it escaped my mind completely. But yeah, they've turned this old quarry building into a bothy, which is great. Bunk beds there. Couple of chairs, fireplace, visitor book, some water, another bunk there. All the usual amenities, the bothy code, and it looks like it's been kept really neat and tidy as well, which is great. So Dub's hut, there we go. Let's leave it be and crack on to our target. Not too far now. This is Black Beck Tarn here, and Haystacks is right there. Morning.
That one again, is it?
Oh, it's beautiful. Can't get much better. Nice of the RAF to arrange a fly pass for me. Although they were a little bit early. It's going to be another 15 minutes before I'm on the summit. Appreciate the gesture though. This is a nominate tarn, where Wainwright's ashes are repeatedly scattered. A beautiful tarn and a beautiful spot. Look at that. Overlooked by Great Gable. A pillar over there. Lovely. The end is in sight though. Just up there. 5 minutes. Afternoon. Right, that's 2:14. That's it, done. Okay, quick summit view panorama. Looking northwards, that's Robinson there, round to Dale Head, round the corner to Brandreth, and then we've got Great Gable, looking magnificent, dropping down onto Kirk Fell, and then all the way around to Pillar, dominating the view, and then round to High Crag, and then over the Buttermere Valley to Grassmore, the highest peak in the distance there. Hey, so that's 214 done and dusted. It's a bit of a busy summit that, so I'm going to leave it to other people and just make my way over to this northern edge where I think the views are going to be a little bit better. So give me a minute and I'll wander over there. So that's it, 214 Haystacks done and dusted, well happy. I've just moved away from the main summit because it's quite busy. There's people coming and going. It's quite bustly. I think it's a popular one because of the views, and it's also a popular one for people to finish on. While I was up there, somebody else was finishing their 214th as well. So my wife packed in my rucksack and told me to open it on the summit. Wainwright 214 Club, which is great. Made of slate, maybe even Honister slate from over there, who knows. So I've got a few summit photographs with that on, which is great. And I've also packed, wrapped up in tin foil, to try and keep it cool. Packed it so well that I can't even get into it. A can of Wainwright's Gold, which I thought would be appropriate. Oh yes, a little bit lively, which is not surprising. And it stayed cold as well. Delicious. So cheers everyone, and particularly those of you who've followed the quest and have watched all the other videos and the blog, and where every single one of the 214 I've documented. Cheers to you especially. Right, so I'm going to enjoy the views for 15 or 20 minutes and then head back down again. Although actually, strictly speaking, I've not completed the challenge until I'm back down to where I started from. So hopefully I won't break my leg or do anything stupid on the way down. Well happy. Just pause for a second on the descent, only because I've got a really good view of the whole walk today. So I started down there in Gatesgarth and then headed up the steep nose of Fleetwith Pike to the summit there, and then dropped down and then up onto the impressive looking crags of Haystacks, which looks really gnarly and imposing, doesn't it? And then back down to where I am now. This fell up on the left here is High Crag. Already climbed that a long time ago. And then we've got Buttermere and the path now, you can see it there going along that diagonal route back to where the van's parked. So I reckon that's about 20 minutes away if I get a wriggle on. Peggy's Bridge. Don't know who Peggy is or was. But she's got a nice bridge. Oh, I better not. I'm driving. We'll have a sausage roll and a bottle of water though. Oh, wow. Well, that's it. That's the 214 done and dusted. Oh, yeah, I'm really pleased with that. 214 Wainwrights. It's taken me 18 years. But a lot of that has been because I've gone doing individual hikes with my wife and my son and friends and done all fells that I've done before. But it's taken me 18 years to do 214 individual fells on my own, all of them from lakes level or as near to lakes level as I can get, and I'm really happy with that. I'm really chuffed. That's some achievement, is that. So what next? Well, there'll be some that I'll never go to again. Mungridale Common springs to mind, but there'll be others that I want to explore in a bit more detail. Pillar, I want to have a good explore around Pillar. I've only climbed it once by the sort of tourist route, and there's some other routes that look really interesting, and lots of others as well. So I'll go over and do my favourites again by different routes, and I've still got to do all my summit views as well. So the aim is to get all 214 summit views labelled, so any that I've not got I'll be probably revisiting as well. So I'm now going to head off back home, have a quick shower, and then go out for a few celebratory beers. That's what I'm going to do tonight. But in the meantime, the only dilemma I've got now is whether I put my 214 Club sticker on the van or on the car. Yeah, it's got to be the van, hasn't it? Right, let's do that now. I reckon right there. Perfect. Until next time.